Alright, what's going on, folks? We are on Beginner Division, Week 1 here. Winterload versus Wyld in a best of 3. Alright, in the right-hand side, we got Winterload, and top left, Wyld. Yeah, Studios, if you're going to do, like, right after me, yeah, start getting ready now if you want. I can give you the raid. Studios is going to cast some Patch Test Division. What's up, Kerpa? Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's been a little bit. I'm mostly, these days, just kind of keeping an eye on the scene and helping when we do events and stuff. So we had a little bit of a break between the last event of the Clan Wars and this one. So big shout out to all the organizers, of course, who put this together. Mainly Tandra Draco, Lupus, Osorum, Sensej, and a few others. Also all the casters. There's so much content to cast for this, and it's really great to see so many different people casting with different styles and approaches, and yeah, I think it's great. I think we're kind of on schedule to where we're gonna get through all the replays without any caster, you know, getting super overloaded and having to cast all the time. All right, nothing super crazy just yet in this game. Pretty small map. I like it better for winter, or I'm sorry, for Wyld. But it's playable for winter. I mean, you can take this base as the natural. This is a tough base. He does have turrets, though. And of course, he got this 6 o'clock. So, really, to me, it looks more like a 3-base game for both sides. Because I think this mill probably is not safe enough to take. I could be wrong, though. Let's see if Winterload wants to be a madman. We'd love to see some tier 3. We do have the Fox here from Wyld, who's also rocking Squizzard. So Squizzard versus Squod. Yeah, gotta let this one breathe a little bit. Winterload was active a few seasons ago. Good caster, good player. A little rusty, so here in the Beginners League for this season. Kind of same boat for Wyld, I want to say. Like, I feel like they were both playing a decent amount during the same era. So, I don't know, that's kind of a weird matchup, because it's like, see the person you used to play on the ladder against, right? But they both kind of took breaks, and they're back at the same time. Winterload making a little bit of progress here, but not enough to deal any damage. And yeah, Winterload did start off with this base, which is nice, because if Winterload actually can put their foot down here and secure this mill, that's going to give them 4 mills on their side of the map versus the 3 of Wyld if we get to that late game situation. But so far, I think the game is still pretty even. Maybe one side got a little bit of an advantage in that fight, but I don't think it's much. Keep in mind the turret is helping boost the army there for Winterload. Big toad hits, though. But Wyld might have... Yeah, Wyld's going to have enough squirrels to deal with this. This is a fun game so far. You know, a couple engagements have happened that haven't really... have been very even, right? It hasn't just been... A lot of times, unfortunately, you can see that in Tooth and Tail, or in a lot of RTS games, really, where you just kind of have an engagement and somebody just wins so hard, it's like, okay, that's pretty much game. It might not be game now, but it's going to be game in the next few minutes. So yeah, Winterload going to hunker down at the moment with a couple turrets. You know, generally we try... We say putting down turrets like this can be non-ideal, but I kind of like it here, to be honest, because this mill is very exposed. So it's good to just kind of have these turrets here and make it a bit harder for Wyld to attack. But and I was about to say this, so I like this a lot from Winterload. I was going to say, if you are going to invest in like permanent turrets like this, though, you should do something to make it worth it, right? Because now Winterload has kind of said to Wyld, hey, don't attack me. If you do attack me, you're going to have to deal with these turrets, and it's not going to be good for you. So Winterload is leveraging this time to get that Badger, which I think is great. I think building the defense and then building the tier 3 behind it is awesome. It's going to be hard for Wildkin to scout this tier 3. The turrets are buying time for the tier 3 to get out. Wildkin knows how much they need a scout, though. Unfortunately, they're having a hard time getting past these turrets. And let's see if Wildkin just decides to put some tech into their army. There it is! Nicely done by Wildkin. They're able to see the scout, or at least the information they need to know. They know the Badger's on the way. And they know it's pretty far. I mean, it's pretty far along, so Wildkin probably doesn't have time, unfortunately, to get out the Fox. Maybe some more tier 2, though. Is going to go for the Fox. But the Badger will be here a lot sooner. Wildkin should know that. Doesn't know how far along the Badger is, but they do know that the Badger Warren was at least done, right? And what is it nowadays? Like 45 seconds for a tier 3, somewhere around there. So here comes the Badger. And Winterload, I would love to see Winterload sell these turrets now, by the way. That would be big brain. But having them there too is not too bad. You have a good fallback point. But I think this push from Winterload is just going to win. You know, building that defense, building the tier 3 behind it, you know, denying the scouting of the opponent. Wildkin is just not ready for that Badger, and a lot of times that's when tier 3 hits the hardest, is when you just get blindsided by it. You know, if Wildkin saw that Badger immediately, they'd have time to build the Fox, we'd have a game on our hands, but no, nicely done by Winterload. I really like the way that they approached that. Getting up some defense, you know, saying, hey, don't attack me. You've got a hard time scouting me too, and then using that to get that tier 3. So, in the bottom, Wildkin with the artillery. Let's go. And up top, Winterload changing up the composition a little bit. Going for Boar Owl this time. And this might be the last game of my cast, but I think Studios is going to go live here soon. So yeah, I don't know what your schedule is, Studios, but if you do pop that stream up, by the time I'm wrapping up, man, I'll give you the raid. So, I'm hyped for this. I want to see some artillery play. This would be a really fun late game, if we can get there. Who was it that we saw? Was it QQ that went a few boars? Oh, I guess I probably shouldn't spoil. Yeah, like, we saw a player yesterday on Tander's stream. It was either, I watched Tander's stream, I watched Sasha's stream last night, so I can't remember which one it was. I wasn't able to watch him live, but I watched the VODs after I was done playing Dungeons and Dragons with my nerd friends. But yeah, somebody built like 3 boars, and it was just freaking ridiculous. I mean, the AoE spread, like, the damage doesn't stack, but you're like getting more AoE out of it, you know. And I mean, everything's just getting roasted down, and that's so much HP to get through. If I had to like really pick what the strongest tier 3, I know that's a very that's a rage conversation in the unit discussion channel, right? But if I had to pick a strongest tier 3 right now, I'd probably say the Boar. For its role, I mean, my brain says Boar, my heart says Fox, just because I love playing the Fox, and I think it's got a really cool playstyle. But, I mean, the Boar is just really strong, you know. We're in kind of a tier 1 meta with the moles being so good, so the Boar answers that, and it's also pretty good against cams. Got a lot of HP. And the Boar is one of these things where it's, I mean, it doesn't take a lot to micro it. I think the skill with the Boar is just knowing when to get it. You know, when's it Boar time? But, you know, even if you lose the Boar, I mean, there's very rarely a Boar that gets nothing done, right? Like, you don't just, like, a Fox just gets a couple snake tags on it and dies and nothing happens. But, I mean, the Boar, it's got the Boar Bomb. It's got all that HP you gotta tank through. It's got crit damage. You could just YOLO a Boar in here, right? It's gonna die, but it's gonna tank a lot. It's gonna kill some Warrens. It's gonna get things done. So we're on second base economies here. Still stuck in tier 1. Both players playing pretty well. I'm not seeing anything like super crazy. I think both sides are playing just fine. Winterload thinking about making it board time. It's boring time. Like the Morbin time memes. Am I cool, guys? Am I a memer? It's Borbin time. Alright. Wildkin needs to see that boar. Or we're going to kind of have a repeat of game number 1. I think Wildkin's got the tools available to deal with this, but they don't know about it, right? And look at this. They're building so many squirrels. Thanks, this guy, for calling me cool. I know you're just trying to butter me up so I cast your your Minecraft mod games. It's game time. Time for some gamers. Alright, I'm still worried for Wildkin. Come on, get the scout, but it might be... I mean, I feel like if you scout it this late, you just go for falcons, right? You don't have time to get your own tier 3. Wildkin, get the scout! Nicely done. Alright, so you go home, you sell a bunch of squirrels for falcons. Is that the move? Yeah, Wildkin's gonna do so. This is still gonna be so close. And all the toads from Winterload, too. Oh my god, Winterload. This Giga Chad. Oh my god. I know Wildkin's doing something up there. I don't even care. This right here. Do it. Do it, Winterload. Get that gristmill. Oh, just gonna go for the Warrens. Oh my god. Alright, I salute you, sir. Got 3 tier 2 Warrens with it. I don't know if it's value or not. I'm too lazy to do the math, but it was cool. I was hoping he went right for the mill. But honestly, the tier 2 Warrens probably were better, because now it's going to be harder for Wildkin to get this critical mass of falcons up that they need to handle this boar. But Wildkin does know about the boar. Winterload's still ahead in economy. Weren't the falcons paid for? I think there was a couple falcons building, which Wildkin gets the refund for. But she didn't, or they didn't have a lot out. I don't know why I thought Wildkin's female. I could be wrong. I'm not sure what gender they are. Alright, Wildkin getting up that falcon count now. I'm worried about the toad boar. I don't think I've seen toad boar like this in a long time. I'm really curious how well it's going to perform. If a warren dies while it's building a unit, do you lose that? No, you get it back. Pretty sure, yeah. Like, if you have a tier 3 warren and it's like building the fox, and someone kills the warren, you get the 180 bucks back. But the tempo was still good there for Winterload, in my opinion. It slowed down Wildkin's abilities to get the falcons out, but Winterload did not feel comfortable enough to push, so now Wildkin knows what is happening. Sold the Artie, actually, to afford all these falcons, and this is starting to look really good for Wildkin. 12 falcons like this, I mean, it's just cap of poggers, man. Yeah, Winterload in the chat. Yeah, I see the... Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that was the move to go for the mill, and then you're like, oh, but there's 4 tier 2 warrens right there. I think that was smarter anyways, because, like, that mill was on its way out, you know? It's not like it was a fully saturated 8-farm mill. Here we go, big engagement coming down. Wildkin's boar is not quite on the field just yet. Winterload pushing forward. And this might be it. Very nicely done there for Winterload. The squirrels on the ground really helped chew through the falcons. I was hoping that we'd have a little bit more of an even engagement there. But nicely done there for Winterload. Gonna take the series 2-0. And I was only hoping for it for selfish reasons. I want to go into game number 3.